Here is our theme song for a really great podcast. I'm Billy Montana and I co-host Finding My Voice, from the yucky to the funny with Kristen Toepfer. Kristen was a model and walked at New York Fashion Week. And suddenly she fell ill and had a hemorrhagic stroke. She couldn't talk for 2 years. She would watch the birds in her backyard. Doctor said she wouldn't make it. Her major victory was walking from her front door to a mailbox. Now she can walk 3 miles. She's a miracle. She's resilient and a tough Jersey girl. She is the voice of the voiceless. She has a book coming out called Finding My Voice. She is a stroke and aphasia advocate. Take a listen to this informative and real fun show.
Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Kristen Toepfer's podcast, Stroke and Aphasia Advocate. How you doing today, Kristen?
I'm doing well today.
Good. So today's podcast is going to be about mourning your old life. It's going to be a tough one today. So my first question to you is, can you paint a picture for us of who you were before September 11th, 2018? What did a typical day look like balancing your engineering career at UPS with your modeling dreams?
I did both. I work UPS and I did CrossFit, and before work I would go to CrossFit.
And what else? Tell us what else you kind of were. Like, what was your life like before the stroke?
Well, I was working and I could run. Well, I can't run yet, but I will be able to run. And it's just being able to do anything that I grieve my own life um, uh, before. It's a life-changing event, and that's just the way it is. It's not just for stroke, it's for anyone that has a life-changing event.
Did you feel like you were taking, like looking back now, how many things that were daily things that you would do that you took for granted that now would be like such a struggle for you?
Putting my hair up, doing makeup, um, just I have weak weakness, and so it's hard to do things.
Right. So when you were working back before September 11, 2018, like what did a normal day look like for you? You get up in the morning, did you make yourself breakfast, have coffee? What was your first task getting up during the day?
I would get up when I woke up, take my medicine, and shower and eat breakfast. But it would be like lunch because I worked at night.
Okay. All right. And then what would take place after lunch? What would be a normal thing for you?
Then I'd go to work. Um, Lunch is sort of during the work, and then have a snack, and then I get out of work at 11 or 12 o'clock. and then I go to sleep and then do the same thing over.
All right. So, um, now you had just walked in New York Fashion Week. What did the achievement represent to you at the time?
It was just being there, taking it all in. That's what I love to do. And I walk for the last one. I walked for disabilities and not in um, being a fighter and and yeah, it was nice to go. I didn't appreciate it until now.
How did it feel back then to be living both worlds, like working hard, but then like on weekends doing like photo shoots and feeling all glamorous, like the UPS job and the modeling are two different types of things. So what was like balancing those two lives like?
Usually, I would shoot or go where the SU went. I would travel to around, around the country, and that was it. Not all of it, but yeah.
So what was the difference between a work day and a photo shoot day? Like how, like energy wise, like what was it like for you? Like was it really exciting? Was it like, oh, another week of work, and then it's like, well, photo shoot time. Like did you have
Yeah,
like that,
it getting all glammed up, seeing the people, old friends and everything.
right? And then traveling to different places, right?
Yep.
What was the funnest place that you like being at?
LA was nice. Nashville was nice. Um, those are the ones that I remember the most.
If there's one place in the world that you could do a shoot right now, where would you want to go?
I go to Iceland like they
Iceland.
did before.
Yeah, nice. All right. So when you first woke up from your coma, what was the moment you realized the old Kristen might be gone forever?
I didn't know yet, but when I woke up, I couldn't move both legs, and I couldn't talk. And at least I know the family was there. Um, it was a tough battle to go from what happened to me to now. I
Hmm.
worked hard.
As an engineer, you were used to solving complex problems with precision and clear communication. How did losing that
Yes,
ability to express yourself clearly affect your sense of self?
because I don't. It's I have aphasia, so it, it's hard to get my point across, and it's hard to read and write.
Tell me about some of that frustration, because like it's a very important part, like people don't realize about your life. Most people that know you as a model didn't realize the important job you have at UPS and how long you worked with them. So, in order to be an engineer, you're solving problems, you're working really hard. So, like, how did this, like, what was the frustration level for you like that now? Like, when you see, like, things that you can't solve, like, that used to be able to solve, like, maybe almost immediately.
It's rather frustrating.
Yeah, I would imagine. How did it feel to realize you might never return to your engineering career after nearly 20 years with UPS?
It was very tough to realize it because I've been doing it so long, and then it's hard. It was really hard not to be able to go back.
How did it feel to realize you might never return to your engineering career at UPS after nearly 20 years?
Um, it was because I go to work every day, and you miss co-workers, and I liked my job.
Yeah. Did you ever grieve the modeling opportunities that might have come after New York Fashion Week? The what ifs of your career path?
Well, I did go do a photo shoot, and very, I was a lot more heavier than I am now. And being the only one that was really overweight made a difference of I had the, the strong will to keep going.
Well, I'm more specifically talking about like, okay, so you walked in New York Fashion Week, and that's when you were supposed to do actually you're supposed to do a photo shoot with me the next day. And that didn't
Yeah,
happen because you got
right.
sick and you weren't
Yep.
feeling well. So, like, do you ever think back and be like, what if that didn't happen? What if the stroke didn't happen? What kind of opportunities would I've had that I missed out on?
I'm sure there's a lot of opportunities with the modeling, and then just living my life. I just don't. I have to alter it to keep going.
But did you have a lot of that, like after the stroke and stuff? Did you have any of that, like you were missing it, or you like worrying, like wondering,
Yeah.
like, you know,
What am I gonna do now?
yeah. But you stuck through it. You're still modeling, which is a very,
Yeah.
very great thing that you have overcome. So I want to talk about something serious right now. Like people don't often realize that stroke survivors go through a grieving process similar to losing a loved one. Can you walk
Right.
us through what that looked like for you?
I lost myself for a couple of years because I like didn't really know what was happening, and losing yourself is hard, but you have to keep going, but especially with the aphasia, and nobody can understand me until I went to speech therapy for 2 years.
It was definitely a long road back for sure. But I want to ask you because, I know this is a tough subject because it's making you have to like go back and it probably pretty upsetting. So, but, I want people to understand like what you're actually going through and what you've been through. But were there days when you felt angry at the person you used to be? Maybe for smoking, for pushing through those warning signs, for not taking better care of yourself?
Yeah, that's all the above.
So you'd be like mad at
Well,
yourself for smoking cigarettes, like were you like, Why was I so stupid?" Or
yeah, yep.
you would get that. Like now, knowing the warning signs, like how long were you having warning signs before it actually happened?
Um, Pretty much at the show, I got a really bad headache, and I just pushed through it.
Hmm. But have you had those prior before?
No,
If there was one thing that you could have changed about all that, what would you have done? Gone to the hospital earlier? Like what would you have
I
done?
definitely would should have gone to the hospital very earlier than because when had the stroke, it was kind of like a night thing.
Hmm.
So I couldn't, when I woke up, I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. And then thankfully, I got a hold of my husband and he rushed, yeah, rushed it over back to the house and then took me to the hospital, which was very close. It was across the street from the hospital, but thank God, like things happened the way it was for
Right.
what happened.
You know, the sad thing about this podcast is that most people who have never had a stroke are probably not going to listen or watch this because they don't think they have they don't think they're at risk for a stroke, right? So,
I didn't know.
yeah. So,
No strokes don't happen in my age, so that's why I really wasn't concerned about it. But
right.
now I'm strokes can happen at any age,
Yeah. So
and
it's up to us to try to educate people, up to you to educate people about what's happening with all this stuff. So, how did your husband John help you through this grieving process? What did he say or do that helped you the most?
well, he always kept pushing me, which is good. Even when I had days of being down, he'll always get get me back up.
That's good. With some things that he would do to make you smile or to make you feel a little bit more positive.
Yeah,
How did he help you with the grieving process though? Like when you were like very upset about going through this and being like, my life's never going to be the same and just being upset.
yeah.
Like, why me? Have you ever had those why me moments? Like, why me?
No, because I knew it was. I don't know. It was more like. I mean, I've had over the years, I've had a pity party about myself, but then I just realized that I'm still alive and doing some things that I love.
So you started to find things that you could be grateful for.
Yeah, every morning.
Yeah, that's a great attitude to have. Okay, complicated grief. What made this grief particularly complicated for you? Like mourning someone who is essentially yourself.
Yeah, it was. Um, well, John says I'm different, and my family has says a little different, but for a good part.
So how do you think that this has changed you like in a good way compared to the Kristen pre-stroke?
I'm definitely um, what's the word? I definitely am blessed, and I forget the question.
I said that what makes this grief completely complicated, mourning someone who's essentially yourself. So it's like, how complex is the grief? Like we have the Kristen that was before the stroke, and then the Kristen that was after the stroke.
It's complex because I didn't really know myself for a while, and then I just like I said, I'm grateful for my life, and it's just hard to know that I was different than now.
Okay, and now tell me like some of the good things about you now compared to the old Kristen. So what is the blessing in disguise for you? Like what is the difference, a positive difference within you that you didn't have before?
I'm stronger now. Well, not stronger. I mean, I'm stronger in general, and
Mentally stronger.
it's just God. Yeah. Um, I have more of a self-worth now.
Okay.
Um, just being through what I've been through. You just take, you don't take life for granted.
Right. So that's like the biggest takeaway for you, right? Is like now you're grateful for so many things where before you weren't grateful for as much.
Exactly.
Did you ever feel guilty for grieving your own life uh, when you're just grateful to be alive?
I don't think guilty is the word. I'm just happy to be here and I can smell, like literally smell the roses because it smells good and going the hiking and the birds and the view. I I like to enjoy the simple stuff in life.
So basically, what's important here that for people to understand is that we as human beings who are healthy, that have not had anything traumatic happen like that happened to you, we take a lot of things for granted every day.
Yep. Even the little
And
things.
and then this has awakened your awareness that now you are grateful for little things that you were never grateful for before.
Right.
Like now you're appreciating the birds and you appreciate the sunlight or different things that you have taken for granted most of your life. Now it's like those things are just, you're happy to be alive, you're happy to be here, and you're finding joy
Hmm.
in new ways, right?
Right.
How do you explain to people that you could be thankful for surviving while still mourning what you lost?
Um, I just I thank God and he just made me survive and I'm not really sure.
Yeah, let me ask it to you in another way. So, how do you explain to people, because I'm sure people have this question all the time that know you, and even people that may not know you, how do you explain that you could still mourn your own life, but you're grateful for and you're thankful for surviving all this?
Yes. Um, it just made me stronger and um I forget the word. Uh, mindful. Mindful is a big thing.
So, do people ever ask you, like, about you grieving your own life?
No, I think they knew what was going on and
Do you ever get
I'm
people come up to you
thankful
and
for
say,
them
wow,
too.
you handle this so well. You're so amazing that you've overcome all this and that you're still such a good person, fun person to be around. Do you ever get any of that?
Yeah, yeah.
Make you feel good?
Or I didn't. Yeah.
Was there a specific moment when you began to accept that the old Kristen was gone and started to get curious about who the new Kristen might be?
I didn't know until like 2 years because I didn't really remember much during the stroke and after the stroke. I was in rehab for a month, but I didn't really think things at that point, I was just getting being able to walk. That was what I was. Um, that was the only thing that was on my mind at that point.
I think kind of the turning point too is around the time you contacted me to do your website.
Yeah,
And then you started to do these podcasts and your book because why?
I want the world to know that my story and
Hmm.
the podcast helped me educate things to people.
Right. So that's a turning point when you decide that you wanted to become a stroke and aphasia advocate and you wanted to start helping other people so they don't have to go through what you went through, right?
Right. Or if you want to have a loved one look at my podcast and then be like, oh, that's really what you went through, and I didn't know.
Yeah. It's definitely educational. It's definitely a turning point in your life. Um, you know, so that's pretty awesome that you've been able to get through all that stuff. When did advocacy work first enter your mind? Was it part of finding meaning in this new life?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell others what I'm going through, and then they could. I I just want to help people.
Yeah. And that's a really great calling for you to have. It's a great purpose to have. Um, so moving forward, how do you honor your pre-stroke self while embracing who you are now?
Mm, I'm not sure what you mean.
We almost have to look at this as like the old life, grieving the old life. So the Kristen pre-stroke was pretty fast-paced, on the
Yes.
go, uh, modeling, having fun, cutting it up with people, laughing, joking, you know, partying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, hitting the runway like it was nobody's business. You didn't even
Mm-hmm.
have to think about walking, you just did it, right?
Yeah.
And now you are this woman who has become like an inspiration to many people. Um, so how have you like, how do you still honor the old Kristen while being the new?
And it's not just speech wise, it's writing and reading out loud. And it's just confusing sometimes.
Right. So, but I think what most people don't get is because your approach is slower now because you have to think about how you want to say things. Um, some people may not realize that you still have the same thoughts you always had. You're just as smart as you've always been. It's just processing it from your mind out of your mouth or down to like writing or reading or something like that, correct?
But I
So,
still trouble. I'm trouble with it.
yeah. And how much do you feel like you're improving?
Um, eh, I think I'm improving with the writing, but not as much as I'd like to do.
Well, I think with doing this podcast with you over the last year, I believe that you've grown a lot. You've changed a lot. Um, you're definitely a lot clearer than you used to be. Um, so I think you're doing great.
Thank you.
You're a miracle. How do you honor your pre-stroke self while embracing who you are now?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I make videos to help and aid stroke victims.
You just want to make your old self
Y-
proud for doing the work that you're doing today.
Yes.
That's awesome. What would you want to say to other stroke survivors who are in the thick of mourning their old lives?
I think I know I grieve at all times. Sometimes it's worse than the other. And I just keep telling myself to keep going, being mindful, and use your family too to help.
Okay, so you would basically tell them to look for support and
Yeah.
to keep trying to move forward.
Yes.
Is there anything about your old life that you're actually glad you left behind?
Um, that's, I don't, it's a whole new world for me, and I like the fact that I didn't really pay attention to it about like everything that's going on, and I would tell her that I was always be encouraged about new things and try new things, even though you can't really do that much.
So what are some things that you're glad that you don't do anymore that the old Kristen used to do that you're glad you don't do anymore?
I don't judge anymore
Mm-hmm.
because I know I've been through it.
That's good. What about habits?
Oh, I wasn't, well, I was fit, but I didn't doing things that I would do is smoking is bad. I wasn't taking care of myself, and that's what happened. Exactly. Oh, and that's why I don't smoke anymore.
If you had a conversation with pre-stroke Kristen today, what would you tell her?
I would tell her to be more mindful. I would tell her to be grateful for what you have and what you've done. And I just, I don't know.
So if you were gonna have a listener today, even if it was just one listener that you could help, based upon grieving your old life, we've come to find out that there's a lot of people that have had strokes that don't think they're going to have one, and they do.
Right?
And
Yep.
it drastically changes your life. Like one day you're working, one day you're walking in New York Fashion Week, and then the next day you just can't even talk for 2 years.
Right.
That's a drastic change in anybody's life, right? So you've got two choices. You can either give up or you can move forward. So you've chose to move forward. But what we've also have come to know is that there's so many things that we take for granted when we didn't have a terrible thing happen like what happened to you or other stroke victims. So life changes like this, but you're lucky enough to be alive. You're lucky enough to make a difference in life. What would you tell other stroke victims right now about grieving their old life and how to handle it?
Well, you can speak to others that to help. The doctors will help. Speech therapies will help.
When you go through like your group counseling, how often do people get upset about their and grieve their old life?
Not too many would be, I guess, angry, and then, but it's just a matter of starting a new life.
Yeah. So does group therapy help with that?
Yeah,
How about family? Do you ever have like private moments where you get upset, like maybe with John and you start crying about your old life and does he help you and how does he help you?
he'll just help me, give me a hug, and tell me it's okay.
And that's all it takes sometimes, right?
Hmm.
Just to feel loved and cared about.
Hmm.
So hugs for everybody.
Yeah, hugs for everybody.
And Amazon shopping.
And I'm like, well, fun fact, when I first started going on Amazon, I thought everything was $2. So everything I was buying, I thought they were $2. Not pleased. My husband was not pleased.
How's your Amazon addiction today?
And slow, trying not to keep ordering stuff.
All right. Well, that's good.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.